Hello and welcome everybody. Today's video I will be replacing thermal paste on HP Omen 15, which is my favorite laptop, and I wanted to do this a long time ago but never had the chance or time or place, and today I'm on this California beach just enjoying great time and decided to do it. So let's get started. Why I chose this laptop, why I think it's the best budget laptop, is because well, it comes with great specs. It comes with 9th generation i7 9750H, and it comes with 2060 GPU, and compared to other laptops that have similar specs, most of them don't function that well, because on paper all the laptops are the same, but it comes down to actual performance. And I previously had Lenovo X1 Extreme, which is great laptop on the paper, but when it came to gaming, the laptop was underclocking the CPU like heavily, and basically all these laptop CPUs run at like 45 watts. Really want to look at the watts. And as soon as I started gaming, it dropped to like 17 or 20 or 25 maximum I could get from the Lenovo. And what's happening is the BIOS, the manufacturer who designs the laptop, decides to limit CPU power whenever you're using the GPU, which means, okay, we don't have a bolt screw there, which means when you're doing just basic benchmarks, CPU or GPU, everything runs fine and you're getting the 45 watts, you get the turbo like 65 watts or whatever. But once you start gaming, once both GPU and CPU is taking that power, you're lost. They lock you out of power. And here comes HP. They designed a laptop that runs flawlessly. When I'm gaming, I'm still able to get sustainable 45 watts. So HP does not turn down power for your CPU when you're gaming, and that's a massive improvement. I do a lot of online gaming, sim racing, and I just couldn't live with that X1 Extreme, which was like, as soon as I got online and needed CPU power, it just wasn't there. So thumbs up for HP. They also do let you choose in the BIOS how many watts you want to run on the CPU. So like, let's say you want to get more battery or extend the life of the laptop, you could go down to 25 watts or 35, or just leave at 45 watts. That's what I do. Also, they have their software, HP Omen Command Center or whatever, and that allows you to change the wattage, basically cool and quiet, normal, and performance. So I mostly run it on performance, and it's still okay to undervolt a bit with this laptop. It goes about, I do minus 80 millivolts, which I think is fine. See, most laptops are very easy to crack open, but this one is a little bit tedious. Let's see. This is not the best laptop. The screen, it's IPS 144 Hertz, which is like standard these days, but the colors, I don't think they're really good. But it's okay, I'm doing photography and I can get by with it. But the battery life on this one sucks. If you're gaming or doing any editing, you're getting an hour and a half maximum. If you're just watching a video, maybe you'll get 2 hours, 2.5 hours. That's about it. I wonder why is this not coming? This is weird. SD card slot reader is slow, but it's there. Like, there's a lot of great laptops out there that I could use for my photography work, but most of them do not have SD card reader. And yes, you can get a USB reader, all-in-one, whatever, but I really like to have SD card reader in my laptop. Everything looks nice and clean. Put this aside. It's not so clean inside here. So one problem with this laptop is, I hope so, that from factory the thermal paste is junk. So it doesn't matter if I'm doing stress test or gaming or anything, the CPU runs fine, but it's like thermal throttling all the time, 100% of the time. It stays at 97 Celsius, which is not good at all. So hopefully, I've read some rumors that HP does a bad job at CPU paste. Hopefully this will help. The GPU, I've never got it over 70 Celsius. Never. The CPU is constantly just garbage. Okay, so what I'm doing here is I'm trying to remove this battery. Let's see how this works. So most of the time I don't do this, but you know, it could start raining and short out. Well, in most common situations you could drop a screwdriver somewhere. And short out some pins. So basically I have just a screwdriver, a small box with a magnet that I just dropped in there for the screws, and that's about it. Oh, and the thermal paste, I'm using MX4 always. It's a great paste. This does take a little bit more disassembly than most laptops. You have to remove these things, these vents. There's another one. It's gonna be hard to remember where everything goes. There's just so much stuff. Anyways, I hope I remember. This laptop, the build quality is not awesome. It's plastic, but it's the cheapest laptop. I paid $1,450 at Micro Center. It was like the cheapest price you could get it, and I added 1 terabyte SSD drive, which I had already, and I added another 16 gig RAM, so now I have 32 gigs. Because I do a lot of editing work and some videos and some photos, and I just need more than 16 gigs of RAM. Also, having 32 with 2 identical chips gives me dual channel performance, which is important. If you buy a laptop, if it comes with a single stick, you're like super restricted on power. I'm trying to understand if I'm unbolting the right things. Every time I do a repaste on a new laptop, I just go and unbolt everything. Let's see. What else do we have here? Out of places for screws, so well, this thing doesn't want to come apart. Let's see, maybe it's this one. So it's a good idea to take a video, because if I mess up and forgot where to put specific screws, I can just watch the video. Let's see. Maybe this. And this. A lot of bolts. Okay, let's see. It should be clear. Is there anything else I'm missing? I don't think so. So these things are clipped on. Super weird setup. Let's see if we can remove this. It's stuck against this corner piece, which for some reason is not coming off. Let's see. There's nothing here. Okay, now it's coming off. Now the fan cover. Wonder if there's similar stuff over here. So let's get a proper screwdriver. end of the video, I'll show some benchmarks I already did for this laptop and compare, obviously, to whatever results we have after I finish. Oh, there is the screw, hiding right under my face. So I'm in Big Sur, California, and there's a lot of traffic nearby. I hope that doesn't bother the video sound. These corners are super weird. There you go. So this little tab is what was holding it in place. Now I could possibly remove the fan cover, but it's stuck here with this. Looks like a display cable. So let me see. Let's move this. And indeed, that's the display cable. Oh. So this bends over if you just undo it. Can remove the cover. I'll just let it sit for now here. Honestly, not sure we have to touch the fan. And then the last bolt, screw for the fan. And should come out. Let's see if it does. The fan comes right out. It's a lot of dirt here. Oops, that was the corner. I'll get it up later. And this side, there's also one screw here. Obviously, you wouldn't want to do this on the beach where there's birds shitting, wind and dust, and maybe rain. But where it is. That's my best option right now. Traveling. I really want to get this done because it's getting on my nerves that the CPU is just getting crazy hot at temperatures it should not be at. You know. This fan is not really moving. Okay, I'll leave the fan right there. So the most important part. For some weird reason, they do not have these numbered. So we'll just do them whatever order. And for some reason, they don't have them on springs. They don't hold in place. But this is not the most difficult laptop to repaste. There's like MSI, there's these Zephyrus. Those are a pain in the ass. Like, there's a lot of laptops that require you to remove the keyboard. And under the keyboard there's a lot of screws you have to undo to get access to the rear panel. IBM ThinkPads used to be like that because they're really durable. And they were designed so that if you spill liquids over the keyboard, it would flow through passages out through the bottom and not hurt anything. But those were the good times when the laptops were big and beefy and indestructible. This laptop, if I dropped it, it would probably break in pieces. Okay, so we should be good to go. I think so. Let's see if there's another. Oh, nope. So, let's see. Why are you stuck here? So, the thermal paste looks fine to me. You can see here there's a lot of pressure. Just fine, but this is way too much paste. And no idea what kind of paste they're using. It's probably, I don't know. There's this thing that laptop manufacturers like to use cheap paste, and if it's like some robots applying it, it's probably crappy work. But most of the time it's just cheap paste. I don't know why they do it. So now it's time to pick some towels. Obviously you should be using cloth towel that doesn't leave any lint, but I'm in the middle of nowhere. I have no cloth towels available. I have just paper. So let's remove the old paste. Fine. And let's remove the paste from the CPU itself. Let's put this away for a second. I know people like to do like lab work. They will do super clean studio, clean towels, 99% alcohol to clean everything. Well, not in my case. Okay, this is NVIDIA. So it had a lot of paste and it was actually cooling really good. Like I said, I never got the GPU over 70 degrees Celsius, which is just impressive. And one thing about this laptop is you cannot overclock the GPU. It's super limited. Like, it's already running at 90 watts, which most laptops never achieve. and undervolting or overclocking makes it just crash. What I don't like is they have this plastic cover over the GPU. Some film, as you can see, some weird film, and well, most pastes are non-conductive. Like, I really don't enjoy that all this paste is on these contacts, but whatever, obviously it works. Cleaning the CPU and GPU. So best case, you would use alcohol, like rubbing alcohol, let's say 96, 99, 98, whatever percent. But as you can see, I have no alcohol here available. So what I use is hand sanitizer, which is 63% alcohol. Yes, it's bad, it's rough, and I should not be working on laptops, but hey, it's my laptop. I paid cash for it. And we will see if I get any desirable results. So at this point, everything's nice and clean, you would imagine. It's time to open up a fresh pack of an Explorer. I know people like to use Arctic Silver 5, but some people have problems with it. And what's it called? The liquid metal. I had nothing but problems with it. They work great the first week or two, maybe a month, and then they stop working great. You're just overheating non-stop. So just get off some paste that might be already bad, and let's see. Let's add a little bit to the CPU. That should be fine. Hey, get off. And the GPU. Will take a lot more. Since, as you saw, when I disassembled it, it had a lot of paste on the GPU. It's about 3 times bigger surface area than the CPU. This should be fine. I think I put too much. That's it. Now it's time to replace everything back. And we'll start with these. The wheels are nice and clean. And let's do this. I'm really not sure this is gonna... maybe it was just a paste holding, but a little bit of pressure and let's do it. So I will start at the very outer edge. What I like to do is just put all the bolts in, the screws, but not tighten them. you really want to have even pressure. Like most laptops have these screws that are attached to the heatsink, and they have a tiny spring that always keeps the pressure on the CPU. And you just don't tighten them all the way, so there's always this spring pressure. In this case, they're using these 4 legs as the springs. Maybe it's very designed. So with this design, I can actually completely tighten them down. And the CPU. At this point, it's pretty much doing everything in reverse. There's nothing complicated. Just unscrewing all the screws and doing everything in reverse. But I hope this brings some results. I did a lot of benchmarks that I saved right before doing this video. Get in. Bloody bastard. Okay. There we go. Now let's attach whatever this thing is. I guess it's just a sticker to prevent air flowing out through the gaps. And let's see. Nope. Let's see once more. Like this. Like I said, most laptops are super easy. You just have to figure it out. But well, this looks like it could be it. Oh yeah, there's the tab. This, and this is the cable, and it's bent under here somewhere, and this side should be good. So now let's just start screwing these things back in. Let's do this first. Excellent. bolts here. These are all tight. So those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 are for the corners. And those are for the exterior. What are these for? Oh, those 4 are for the battery. Okay, so let's continue. That is the chassis. This chassis. Let's do the corners. This is going here. Okay. Project putting back the corner. Go. Let's get rid of the corner bolts. So the big ones go here, I believe. Another big one. Other side, let's do this cover. So like this. Let's see, did I miss anything? Except this bolt, I already 1 bolt. I think it went here. Maybe not. But it fits, so let's put back the corner. I really do not like these corners because you can't really use the vacuum type CPU coolers that pull air out. Because these corners are angled and whatnot. And so usually the what was the name? I forgot. So the vacuum coolers, they attach to the side of the laptop to pull air out. These corners don't seal well enough to make any difference. Okay, this is gonna be weird. Is there anything I'm missing? No. I'll just have to use force here. There we go. So now we got the fat screws. Screw. Another fat screw. And the corner is done. At this point, you can put back the battery to get rid of those place. Seeing 3 more screws that have to go somewhere in the cooling assembly. Not sure if I do have 3 more holes. Fix a computer or a car and you're left with extra bolts or screws and you have no idea where they go. Are the big screws that go through the case, and these as well. Let's see. Oh, there's one. This goes through the case. This goes through the case. There. All done. So nice. We are ready to put back that case. Pressing on everything. Okay, this is not going to go in. Okay, let me break something. Oh, the cable. Cable should be inside. There we go. Press until it doesn't click anymore, and you're good. Now the two big ones. Small ones. Okay. Another good idea about the magnet is that it magnetizes, or I don't know how to say it, the screws themselves. And if you don't have a magnetic screwdriver, well, the screw is going to be magnetic, and it's easy to pick them up. Doesn't take that long to make the screws magnetic when it's attached to a magnet. They usually fire up. Oh crap. Oh yeah, that's right. I was missing one. Probably came from the factory missing one. I usually don't put back the screws. I usually fire up the laptop, see if there's something broken, if I connected everything back, but well, let's see. Did not post. Now it did. You can see it's a thin bezel laptop. I don't like the keyboard, these numbers. Font is just ugly. Not seeing anything. Maybe I did not do something right. It's always a good idea to fire up the laptop without putting it back together. Afterwards, you have to disassemble it again. Oh, the light is on. Okay, the CMS checksum is invalid. The CMS will be reset to default configuration. We're good. Blah 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 blah. Reboot the system. Yes. Obviously, we removed the battery. It probably deleted the BIOS.
might it messed up the checksum. I have no idea. Let's see. HP Omen loading. Screen. So yeah, the screen is not really good in sunlight, but hey, it works. So that's it. We are done with the repaste, and I'll get back to power and see what results we get. Okay, so here I have saved some screenshots. This is the test before repaste, and when it was active it was always thermal throttling. As you can see, package TDP is 62 watts and it's thermal throttling. Temperature 97. That's minimum, maximum, average. So maximum 98 is where it's throttling, and average 92. And this is after repaste, so there's no thermal throttling. Package is 82 watts. I still hit 98, but the average is 90, and that's the difference. I hit maximum 4 gigs and 358 before on Signbench R20, and results are, so before it was 2500 and after it's 2900. That's a massive improvement. So yeah, I still hit 98, but during the test there's no thermal throttling, so that's really good. Next, I did user benchmark. So CPU is these results. You can see 177 points, 586, and 878. And the new one is 189, 638, 976. So looks like about 10, maybe 10% difference. Graphics card didn't change at all. Drives, you can see here, okay, it shouldn't be affected. So RAM, 31.4 gigs multi-core, 31.7 after the repaste. Latency 64 versus 61, so about 3 to 5% difference. And Intel Extreme Tuning Utility, I did a test. Again, I can see there's thermal throttling before the repaste, also power limit throttling and EDP, whatever that is. And this is the test after repaste. So I still get power limit throttling, obviously, because the CPU has the guts to go more, but the motherboard is limiting. But as you can see, there's no thermal throttling, which is really good. In XTU, the watts difference was not that a big difference. I don't know why. But the results before was 2168, 2196 after, so not a big difference, maybe 2%. But as you could see, Signbench was pretty massive difference. So that's it. I'm happy with the results. No longer thermal throttling most of the time, so it was worth the effort.
If you watched this far and like this video, please click the like button. It will help me tremendously. If you want to see what videos I come up with next, click the subscribe button. And if you have any questions about this specific laptop or anything else, please ask in the comments. That's it for now. See you next time.